So after Microsoft made the bombshell news that People Can Fly and Square Enix's new title Outriders was dropping day and date in their Xbox Game Pass subscription service, there was a lot of people that made pre-orders elsewhere on other platforms and said, I want to get the Xbox version, but don't fret, Stadians, because I'm going to explain to you why. If you jump ship, you might not get the same experience that you were looking for that you're going to get on Stadia. See is why I'm keeping Stadia Outriders pre-order despite it dropping day and date in Game Pass. See why I and others feel this way. It's SDO Daily, baby. Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. Oh, I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the SDO Daily. All right. For the Stadia Dosage platform, do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we're dropping these doses for you. We appreciate it straight up. Y'all know the deal. You know the reason. And you know the slogan. We are not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. Okay, I said it in the bumper. It was a bombshell. We can't front. I did a live stream saying, hey, look, Xbox was like, look, we Stadia, we coming to season y'all's broth, man, because we know y'all was looking to do a come up on this. We saw the announcement with Square Enix. We saw some screenshots. A lot of you may have not seen those screenshots, but I'm gonna show them to you. We saw them screenshots of Square Enix talking about, yeah, there's gonna be some great fidelity and the game is gonna look good. Oh, heck no. We're gonna keep our foot on your neck, right? We're gonna show all that and break it all down for you. But despite all that, despite that big news, you gotta give credit where credit is due. If you were excited to get this game on Stadia, I'm gonna explain to you why. Just hopping on the $15 a month Xbox Game Pass thing might not scratch your itch for this game the way you think it is. All right, we're gonna go over those reasons right now with no further ado. Reason number one, simply put, you're getting more options on the Stadia version. In the aforementioned press release from Square Enix, they told you that they are dropping the game with Stadia exclusive features. One of those features being Stream Connect. Now, if you're a Stadia gamer, you know how important Stream Connect was, particularly in The Division 2 and how that game was made even better, not only with the fidelity and the way that it played on Stadia, but the simple fact that you had that little picture-in-picture, you could see what your comrades were doing, where they were at. That changed the game in a lot of ways, you know what I'm saying? Saved a lot of lives, you know what I'm saying? When people was in trouble, where are you at? You know what I mean? It's a dope feature. Really my favorite Stadia feature next to the YouTube streaming, you know what I'm saying? So definitely kudos to that being added to the game. So you're gonna be missing out on that. Also, here's the thing. The Game Pass version is gonna give you the standard model, the standard version of the game. Fine, whatever. But if you made pre-orders, I think there was some pre-order goodies. That was going to be given to everybody, but you know the Xbox people at mass are going to abandon that pre-order version and they're going to go with the Game Pass version, which is not going to give you those goodies. All right. So that's another reason why you're going to want to keep your Stadia version, but particularly for Stadia, the Game Pass version is going to allow you to play on different screens, including your, let's say your Xbox Series X, right? And then your it's available on xCloud too, which on the surface may seem like a great deal, but if you were getting it on Google Stadia, you're not getting a much better experience on the go for the simple fact that the xCloud version only gives you access via Android devices and via iOS devices. It leaves out a major proponent to cloud gaming for the cloud gaming community, which is PCs and laptops. If you want the PC or laptop version, you're gonna have to buy it separately and natively on PC and laptop, which is a big no-no for a lot of cloud gamers, okay? Because if they had expensive rigs in the first place, a lot of them wouldn't even be giving Stadia a look or GFN a look, so you would have to get it natively in order to play it on your PC and laptop. Womp, womp, womp. All right? So that's reason number one, the options. Reason number two, better performance across the board. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's just work out this scenario. Say, for instance, you get it and you're like, okay, I'm not worried about PC or laptop at the moment, and I do have an Xbox Series X, and I do have Game Pass Ultimate, so I'm gonna play it on the go there. In all likelihood, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that with xCloud, even though it might not be as fast of a transfer, you'll be able to play that same playthrough that you just played on your Xbox on xCloud, because I think there's gonna be cloud saves with this game or whatever the case may be. So you're covered there. But here's the problem. Now let's just say, let's play devil's advocate. I don't know if this is going to be a backwards compatible version, like an 8th gen version that's playing on the 9th gen version of consoles, or if it's going to be built from the ground up for the 9th gen. So let's just assume that there's a 9th gen version. All right. Your 9th gen version of Outriders, in all likelihood, we don't live in fairy tale land. We know this to be true. In all likelihood, is going to look and perform better than on Stadia. Stadia is only a 1.0 version. It's like a hybrid between 8th and 9th right now, but this is only Stadia 1.0. This isn't the extended server blades or none of that other stuff, as far as we know. So when you go play on your Xbox Series X, your $500 console, when you go play there, in all likelihood, let's just say you're going to get an experience overall that's a 10 as far as performance and fidelity, okay? But the Stadia version, for all intents and purposes, especially per screenshots that we've seen, and then how we know how Stadia performs and the things that Square Enix has said about the performance with this game, and what we know from Cyberpunk 2077, if your experience is going to be a 10, then in all likelihood, your experience is going to be an 8.5 at worst, a 9 in all likelihood with the Stadia version, especially with the screenshots that I've seen, right? But here's the kicker. You, the cloud gamer, you want to then now do what cloud gamers do and take that game on the go. So you boot it up on your xCloud version of the game on your mobile device or your Android or iOS device. That experience that you had on your Xbox Series X goes from a 10 to a 5 at best. But when you take your Stadia version from your TV to your phone and your laptop and PC where it ain't available on xCloud, your experience goes from an 8.5 to a 9 to another 8.5 to a 9 to another 8.5 to a 9. See, that's the magic of Stadia that a lot of people don't understand and realize, but you should. That no matter where you go, as long as your screen is capable of it, you're going to get the same fidelity across the board because of the power of the cloud, because of the magic of the Stadia technology. Most and foremost, that you are going to get the same fidelity regardless of any screen that you're on. So first and foremost, you're going to get to play on more screens, and two, you're going to get better flexibility and better performance and balance across the board despite the screens that you're on, right? And a lot of you might hear that and you might say, you know what, MM2K, that's bullpucky. But you know what I think it's time for? I think it's time that, you know what, let me show you something. Shout out to the homie Big Mantis on Twitter. He said, MM2K, you gotta drop the truth on the people. You gotta get them the God degree. And what he gave me was an excerpt from that Stadia release date announcement from Square Enix about Outriders dropping day and date on the platform. Let's take a look at it. Bada boom. Here it goes. From the horse's mouth. Quote, we're excited to team with Google to bring Outriders to Stadia with Stadia exclusive features and the highest levels of performance, allowing players to get the best experience on all supported devices, said John Brook, co-head of Stadia at Square Enix External Studios. Wow. Now you look over here. Can you see this over here to the right? They are so confident of the performance that you're going to get on Stadia with this game. They even dropped some pics over here for you. And you know what? I want to show you some of those pics, baby. Let's start with the first one. Boom! Look at that. That's the fidelity that you're going to get on Stadia. Let's drop second pic on you. boom. Come on, don't play with me. Boom. There you go. That's the fidelity again. You're getting on Stadia. Let me drop one more for the people in the back. Boom. Look at that. Look at all that fidelity that you're going to get on the Stadia version. Like I said, on the Xbox Series X version, it's going to be a 10. But if it's going to be a 10 there, it's going to be an 8.5 at worst. A 9 on Stadia, from all intents and purposes. According to Square Enix it is, and they're dropping proof to show it. They're dropping receipts to show it. So I'm just going off of what they're saying, okay? So with that said, it's going to be a great experience across the board, regardless the screen, because y'all know how the tech works on Stadia. And you ain't got to worry about going from a 10 to a 5. And shout out to my homie Doc Dark 1985. He's an Xbot. He done told you I'm a self-proclaimed Xbot. He said, man, after playing Stadia, I can't even boot up xCloud no more, man. You ain't got to worry about such a performance dip from your TV screen to your phone to your laptop when it comes to Stadia. All right. Last but not least, I want to talk about something that I normally don't talk about, or is normally not a concern when it comes to Game Pass. I think Game Pass is a great outlet for people to play a whole bunch of games, people that have that desire. And from all intents and purposes, from what we hear from publishers and developers, it's normally a way for people to extend their revenue for their game. So it works out for publishers and developers. On the most part, we've had some naysayers about it that didn't like it or whatever, but for the most part, from what I understand, people like the program as far as its compensation is concerned. I have concerns about that here. Why do I have those concerns? Well, if you go back to the press release, let's go back. If you go back to the press release, this information was dropped February 16th, 2020 originally, you know what I'm saying? And then I believe this was dropped February 16th, 2021. I think they meant to put in here. But here's the problem. The problem is that, okay, so that information was released in February. A month later, the xCloud / Game Pass version is coming. Now, you know they had to pay a lot of cheese in order for that to happen. Who got that cheese, though? This was a quick transaction for the simple fact that people made pre-orders. And normally, I don't think Game Pass would let people make pre-orders for a game, then delete the pre-orders. I think this was a last-minute deal made because they know that it was coming to Stadia. They know what Stadia was able to do with that Cyberpunk 2077. People got a hold of that, got that good fidelity, and was able to take that good fidelity on any screen, and they want to cut that off at the pass. They said, fool me once, shame on you. And Xbox said, no, you're not going to embarrass us again. We had the marketing deal for Cyberpunk 2077, made you buy that ugly behind console, and that all fizzled in our face. It was the worst place to play it. You know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to them. They made a power move, and it's a big power move that is resonating throughout the whole gaming world. With that being said, I wonder who the compensation is going to, because Square Enix on Reddit had spoke on behalf of People Can Fly, and this ain't an absolutist example, but I haven't seen anything from People Can Fly excited about this. Like, if you go to their Twitter page, let me see, we can look them up. If you go to their Twitter page, People Can Fly, they love talking about this game. 38 million kills and 5 roaches stepped on and all types of crazy stuff. They, even when it dropped day and date, from my understanding, they were talking about it, doing a Q&A session, and they had brought it up. So this is a big deal. And why is Square Enix talking about this on your behalf? Again, it could be nothing, but then it could be something. Just me personally, I find it peculiar. So because of that, I feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that I'm buying this game on the Stadia platform opposed to getting it and renting it in Game Pass. Who did that money go to? This was done so hastily. I don't know if a deal was inked out and that's expedient amount of time that is going to benefit People Can Fly the way that it should. Maybe it did. I just got a funny feeling. So with that said, and I'm one that supports the devs. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the people that when Xbox was trying to have that trade policy, I supported the devs. So I didn't think it was so bad because I truly support the devs. I did programming in my tenure, not gaming programming, but and I understand how tedious that can be just from a smaller level from game developing. So I really, really, really like to benefit the devs. And so I'm gonna buy this game outright and I'm gonna feel comfortable doing that. You know what I'm saying? To where you're gonna have a lot of Xbox people that may not think about that, may not think about where the compensation is going to, because normally people have said that the compensation is evenly spread between the publishers and the developers. I don't know if it happened in this case. It seemed to happen so fast. Now People Can Fly or somebody can come out and denounce that, and hopefully they will, and hopefully this video will inspire that, a little bit more transparency. But until then, you know, I feel the third reason for me, I feel comfortable knowing that I'm supporting the devs and for sure way that I'm supporting them. But despite that, you still got the more options and you got the performance that is going to be balanced on any screen that you play on. And if you're a cloud gamer, those two things are very important to you. So again, if you're on the fence, think twice before you pull that trigger and you miss out on them pre-order goodies. And that's why I say I believe that you may have a vocal minority that's going to switch over, but I think the majority of Stadia players, they understand everything that I've just said and they're going to stay put. And with that said, that's it from your boy Mem2K. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. With all that said, love you guys and gals. Do some happy Stadia gaming. Unplug yourself from the noise, especially on Twitter. I have to do that too for my sanity. Thanks to Clive Linden for that suggestion. You all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.